Hi, I'm Cat Navarro with IdeateTV, and I'm here at the 2015 V3con with journalist Frank Buckley. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us, Frank.
Of course.
I enjoyed your panel.
Thank you.
One of the things I want to ask you first is, what inspired you to become a journalist?
Wow, I've always enjoyed telling stories and meeting new people and having new experiences, and so from the time I would say about 16 or 17, I knew that this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to travel the world and see the world and be on the front line of history, and I've had a chance to do that.
How did you first get into it? Because I'm sure there's a lot of young people who want to be like you, and they're wondering, what's the first step?
So I got really lucky. At the age of 17, when I was between my junior year and senior year of high school, my local radio station in 29 Palms, they were hiring a color commentator for the high school football broadcasts. And they came to the principal of my school and they said, we'd love someone who's on the football team and maybe he's not going to play very much, or he played before and he still loves football. And my principal said, I know just the guy. Because I was on the team, but I wasn't, like the star of the team. And so they asked me if I wanted to do that, and I got paid $25 a game, plus mileage. And so I started being a color commentator for high school football broadcasts, and then I became a disc jockey. My senior year of high school, by the spring semester, I was working till midnight every night and turning off the radio station because we went off the air at midnight. So I was the only one left in the radio station. I would turn it off and go home. I became the news director that summer. And then I went off to college and did a lot of internships, and then started working in Palm Springs. Was my first job in TV, and that was in 1987.
Wow.
Yeah.
You had a great career. Now, what are some of the tools you've used to overcome some of the challenges? Because I know that becoming a journalist is not easy.
No, it's not easy, and I would say that you can't be denied when you know what you're doing, and so learn how to write. And know your space, right? So if you want to go into journalism, I hope you're reading the newspaper every day. I hope you know what NPR is. I hope you know what KNX News Radio is. I hope you're watching CNN or some other cable TV news outlet. I hope you're watching local news and network news so that you at least know the business you want to get into. And you should know how your government works and who the county supervisors are and who's in the Congress. I still to this day occasionally, just to sort of as background noise for myself, I have C-SPAN on. And it sounds incredibly boring and all of that, but I may be doing something else, but then I know who's in my Senate, who's running the U.S. Senate and that sort of thing. So know what you're going into, be well read, know the space, and I think most importantly, learn how to write. Right. If you know how to write and you know how to communicate, you will succeed because there will be a place for you somewhere in this business.
Now, since we are at a digital media conference, are you pretty active on social media?
I try to be. During our show, I have a Twitter account, Frank Buckley TV. I have a Facebook. I have an Instagram. And while we're on the air, I sort of monitor. Not as much Instagram, but Twitter and Facebook. I see what people are saying to us. I try to respond to some of them. And I think it's they're very useful tools. Yeah. You get a sense of, and we get news tips. People send in tips to us on Facebook and Twitter. They tell us if our live stream's not working. Yeah. All sorts of things. And I don't believe all of it, and some of it, if it's criticism, I try not to let it be too hurtful. But you listen to it because you think, well, if one person thinks that, maybe someone else does too. Yeah. And then you enjoy the interaction. People are very kind on social media as well, and so you get a sense that we're actually doing some good. Right. So yes, I try to use it. I'm probably not as adept at it as some people. My sons laugh at me because when I have my iPhone out, I use two hands, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And they're kind of embarrassed by it, but I try.
Well, thank you so much, Frank, and I really appreciate you being here and all the helpful information and advice you've shared with us.
Sure, happy to talk to you.
Thanks for watching Cat with IdeateTV.